Hi, this is Larry Jordan. Let's answer another Final Cut Studio question. John Rusniak asks, when I import my photos from my Canon 7D into Final Cut, they aren't quite large enough to fill the canvas. I have to resize them all using the wireframe. I want to do a Ken Burns effect anyway, but if the image was the right size in the first place, I'd only have to enlarge it once. Any tips? Yes. The image that you're shooting with your 7D, the still image, not assuming you're doing HD video, but the still image that you shoot with any camera is many thousands of pixels across by many thousands of pixels high. Video, on the other hand, is hundreds of pixels across by hundreds of pixels high. Video is a fraction of the resolution of a still image. Because of that, your still images have to be scaled, and Final Cut does this automatically. Final Cut will always scale your image so that it fits inside the frame. If you didn't shoot a perfect 4:3 image, or if you didn't shoot a perfect 16:9 image, there will always be black around the edges, because Final Cut, if you just took that picture in and didn't scale it to fit, then you'd be seeing like the nose of the person's close-up, because the image is just so much huger, larger, so many more pixels than the image that you've got on the video image, that Final Cut says, I will always take an image which is bigger than the video frame and scale it smaller. So this is a normal behavior of Final Cut, so you can see the entire image. The only way that you're going to be able to avoid having those black lines around the top and the bottom, letterboxing, or on the left and right edges, pillar boxing, is to crop your image first inside Photoshop. Now, there's a really good reason to do this, because most high-definition video formats don't work with square pixels. So if you simply bring the picture into your system, the circles are going to turn into eggs, and squares are going to turn into rectangles, and people are going to look either extra short and fat or extra tall and thin, and nobody's going to be happy. Remember that article I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, which is improving the look of your still images and text? This goes through, it provides a table of how to scale your still images so they perfectly fit the frame, 16:9 or 4:3, and they also bring in circles of circles and squares of squares. It compensates for the difference in pixel aspect ratio between the rectangles of video and the squares of the computer. So what you're seeing is a normal behavior of Final Cut in that it automatically sizes your picture to fit, and it will, because it's not a perfect 16:9 or 4:3, you'll see black around the edges. Keep in mind that Final Cut, in its current version, Final Cut 7, does not like still images which exceed 4,000 pixels on a side. So if you shoot a 1620 megapixel picture where it's 10,000 pixels by 5,000 pixels, Final Cut's just going to groan, because it was never designed like Photoshop was for the processing of still images. Instead, Final Cut was designed for the purpose of dealing with video, which is much smaller resolution. So take any still picture that you want to put into video and change its size inside Photoshop so that the longest dimension does not exceed 4,000 pixels. My name is Larry Jordan, and thanks for watching.